Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt the shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
Last week, the best AI on the market. Take two. Last week, the best AI on the market got cheap. I cut its GPT 5.6 Luna model by 80%, down to 20 cents per million input tokens. actively sabotaging their company's AI. Among Gen Z workers, it jumps to 44%. Not only is that strange, but the sabotage people use them quietly, making the AI look worse than it is. The reporting ties it to pay, companies using the productivity gains to hold wages down. And this is one of the ways the workers are pushing back: malicious compliance. Here's the takeaway: an AI rollout done to your people instead of with your people does not save time, it buys this quiet resistance. So if you lead a team, the buy-in is not a soft skill this year, it is the whole implementation. Story 3: consumer trust in AI heavy brands is dropping, and it's dropping fast. In 2025, 20% of consumers said heavy AI use would lower their favorite brand. 2026, that doubled to 40%. And the Gartner survey this year found 50% of US consumers would rather buy from brands that do not use Gen AI in the stuff customers actually see. So let's think about that. Half your market would prefer you did not use AI in your ads and your messaging, which should not be a surprise since we know how the bell curve works, and we have innovation at the front end and mass market at the top, and then on the back end is the back end of mass market and into the laggards. So this just is telling us what we as marketers already know. So not to hide the AI, the move is to keep a human thing that reaches a customer. Here's my hot take of the week: the whole the same thing right now. AI is cheap, to use more emails, more pages, faster, flood every channel. And I think that is exactly backwards. Look at the numbers we just went through. 40% of consumers trust an AI-heavy brand less. Half of them would rather you did not use it in front of them at all. So when you pump out more cheap content, you are not winning attention. You're winning your trust, potentially your brand. Here's the thing: the last pennies, the content it makes is not scarce anymore. Anybody can make it. What gets scarce is the opposite: a real point of view, a human who actually knows the customer's pain, the magic spark a machine does not have, right? So my take is this: use the cheap AI to kill the repetitive, time-consuming manual work that nobody likes. Then the hours hand you back and put them back into the human part, the judgment, the taste, the one idea your competitors generate does not know your customers the way you do. Publish less, put your finger on it. That is the growth move this year, not the flood. New AI companies. Let's talk about who came out of stealth this week, because it tells you where the smart money thinks the work is. First, Ellis AI out of stealth on July 31 with 10 million in seed, backed by first round Causal Ventures, Thrive, and Melody Hobson. AI agents at the mess a private credit manager lives in every day. The documents, the spreadsheets, the endless correspondence, the repetitive, time-consuming manual work. They're not trying to replace the manager. They are augmenting the human and clearing the grunt work off his desk or her. Protocol with 4.5 million, led by Version 1 Ventures. These folks are building with agents. In English, you give every agent its own address, so agents can find each other, trust each other, and work together with no human wiring it up. They say they already support around 250,000 agents. You see the pattern here. One company is putting an agent on the worker's messy desk, building those agents strong. Both the same thing. the agents are coming. Actually, the agents are here. And right now, people are funding the plumbing that lets them actually do the work. So let's follow the money because the checks this week were not small and they point the same direction. The big one similarly raised 200 million, led by Greenouts at a 2B valuation, and they did it 5 months after their last round. What do? They build custom AI that simulates how people can react. Customers pay employees you describe it, and so across thousands before you spend $1. CVS Health, Deloitte using it. For marketer, that is a test audience. You can run a campaign pass before you buy the media. Next, Onyx Security, 113 million, led by Bessemer at a 640 million valuation. Their whole product is a control plane that sits between your agents and your systems, watching every move an agent makes and blocking the risky ones. They quadrupled revenue in 4 months, and Anthropic integrated with them in June. Then there's Freehand, $75 million, co-led by Battery Ventures. They put AI agents on enterprise supply chain spend, reading contracts, auditing invoices for names like Meta, Unilever, and Pfizer. Their customers report cutting the payment cycle by more than 70%. And one more, Encore AI, led by Team 8. They mine your best salespeople's actual calls, find what the top performers say, and turn that into AI agents built to grow revenue per conversation. So added up, the money this week went to 3 things: testing decisions before you spend, keeping agents under control, and putting agents on real work nobody is funding. Nobody is funding chatbots anymore. They're funding agents that act and the guardrails to keep a human in charge. New AI tools worth knowing. 3 tools worth knowing this week. Quick hits, all shipped July 28. 1, StackAdapt. They move campaign planning, forecasting, and execution into a single conversation. Instead of a dashboard, you describe the campaign you want, and it plans and launches it. Number 2, Cyabra launched something called Coordinated Activity. It is an AI agent that investigates coordinated online behavior and hands back one evidence-backed verdict. Rotation team, that is a fast way to tell a real organic pile-on from a coordinated attack. And number 3, Algolia added guardrails to its agent product, request limits, token ceilings, behavior controls. If you run AI search on a storefront, you can now put hard ceiling on what the agent spends and does before you turn it loose. This week's question comes from Marcus T. on LinkedIn. He asked, with these models getting this cheap, my CEO wants to cut most of our content team and just generate everything with it. Push back without sounding like I'm just protecting jobs. Well, here's how I would handle that, Marcus. First, don't argue about the cost. Your CEO's content got cheap. That part is over, and you won't win by pretending otherwise. Argue about the trust, the brand, and about the KPIs from human-created content. Walk in with the number we talked about today. 40% of consumers now trust an AI-heavy brand less, and half of them would rather you didn't use it at all. Cutting the whole team and flooding the channel doesn't save money. It just is going to impact your brand. Then give a plan, not a no. Maybe like this. We keep the AI on the repetitive, time-consuming work, the first drafts, reformatting, the variations. We keep humans on the problem solution call, the action, and the voice, the part that actually earns the trust. Jobs, that's protected by you bank the savings. Save time playbook this week. Let's land with something you can run this week. The average marketer is now saving about 6.1 hours a week with AI per HubSpot's data. Senior folks say hours. The boring stuff, the repetitive stuff, the time-consuming manual work that nobody likes doing. Take those hours in 3 steps. Step 1, pick one repeatable task that drains you every week. Your product descriptions, your first report. 2, build the product. Feed it your invoice. 3, real examples of good output and the exact format you want. This is the part people skip, and it is the whole game. Set it up right one time, the first time. Step 3, and this is the one that matters, keep the human in the loop. That would be you. The AI writes the first draft, you do the judgment, you catch what is off, and you add the spark the machine will never have. For instance, the retailer Adore ran exactly this pattern on product descriptions. They went from 20 hours per batch to 20. A person still had the final say, and the work got faster and stayed on brand. Adopt the tool, adopt the workflow, and execute it this week. That's the show. Here's the one thing I want you to walk away with. The best AI got cheap in this week, and it will get cheaper next week. So that is not your edge judgment, your point of view, in touch with what you solve for your customers, and keeping a human on the last sentence. So use the cheap tool for the grunt work and put your hours back into the part that only you do. If you want that thinking in the form that you can hold, take a look at my marketing books, including Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI. You'll find them at emanuelrose.com. Rose.com. And please do me a favor, drop some questions in the comments on LinkedIn. Answer one every show. The question you post could be part of the content. Thanks for speaking. Now, do something with AI today. Some time. This is Emanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing